Just give him a jingle, because I saw him in the yard this morning.
Because I waited till the last minute to leave too, till the rain stopped.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I think I do have his number. I just happen to think.
You guys want me to go ahead and start then? Okay,
Yeah.
Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Do I have to bang this gavel? You do not have to bang the gavel, only Alright. if you want to. I'm good. All right, so we're going to call the call to order. It is June 7th at 6:33. Do we have any public comments?
Go ahead and ask for a roll call.
Oh, roll call, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
Ms. Hallett,
Here.
Ms. Ryan,
Here.
Mr. Mrozinski.
Here.
Okay. Now, do we have any public comments? It looks like we do not. I will pass it over to you.
Okay. And the quasi-judicial announcement and the swearing in of speakers. This is a quasi-judicial proceeding where the Heritage Preservation Board acts in a quasi-judicial rather than a legislative capacity. At a quasi-judicial hearing, it is not the board's function to make law, but rather to apply law that has already been established. In a quasi-judicial hearing, the board is required by law to make findings of fact based upon the evidence presented at the hearing and apply those findings of fact to previously established criteria contained in the Code of Ordinances in order to make a legal decision regarding the application before it. The board may only consider evidence at this hearing that the law considers competent, substantial, and relevant to the issues. If the competent, substantial, and relevant evidence at the hearing demonstrates that the applicant has met the criteria established in the Code of Ordinance, then the board is required by law to find in favor of the applicant. By the same token, if the competent, substantial, and relevant evidence at the hearing demonstrates that the applicant has failed to meet the criteria established in the Code of Ordinance, then the board is required by law to find against the applicant. Are there any members of the board wishing to disclose any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest this evening? Seeing none, anyone wishing to speak, if you could please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
So sworn.
Okay, we need to do the approval of the minutes from April 5th. We need a motion for that, right?
Yeah, I'll move to approve.
I'll second that.
So then that is approved. The first item is,
I think we have to
do we
vote.
have to do a roll call?
You can
Mr.
either do it by a roll call vote, or you can ask for a voice vote. So all in favor say aye, all opposed nay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna move over.
All right, first application 21-43, 28 West Center Street, installation of a porch and roof over existing slab on a contributing structure.
Okay, there is a note that this application has been continued to June
They
12th.
withdrew.
Is that,
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
okay, so July 12th. Okay, I was like, do
It's
we have
July,
a
not
special
June,
meeting?
right? Yes.
Okay, so that application has been continued to a date certain of July 12th, 2021.
Okay, so then I guess we're going to number 6. Application 21-61, 37 West Boyer Street, replacement of windows on the contributing structure.
The staff presentation?
Okay, and this is a request from Gail Kidwell to replace 3 windows on a contributing structure on Boyer Street. The window replacements will match the size and fenestration of the existing structure, so they will be size for size. And this will be vinyl material replacing metal. That's the location. There's the location in the historic district. And again, this is contributing and for the 3 window replacements. This is the structure. It's listed as masonry vernacular. It's got ranch elements. Obviously, it was built in about 1955. It's got 1 double set of 1/1 windows and then 2 single sets. And that is exactly what the applicant wishes to put in, except with vinyl material. The guidelines, the review criteria that are most applicable are listed here, and your guidelines for windows are especially applicable to this project. So again, these are 1/1 single hung windows, and they are of metal construction. I don't know if they're aluminum or what they are, but the applicant has stated that they are metal. And I don't know if they're original to the structure. When I wrote up this slideshow, and when I went over and took a couple pictures, it didn't look to me like they were. Okay, so you guys might know better than me. Replace size for size, and this will be single hung 1/1 vinyl windows. And this is just a picture. The dimensions seem to be fairly similar as far as the dimensions of the window itself to what you're looking at. Again, some close-ups. When you get close up to them, they're all, at least the double ones look like they're white, so I don't know that there'll be much of a difference in appearance once this is done. And we're recommending approval of this project, and there were no responses received to the public notice. I guess the applicant is not present. I expected the applicant to be here, but I don't see anyone for this project.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
I don't have any questions. I think you're right. It's going to be very similar to what they have today. It may even look a little better, and so I think.
And
it's
we
similar.
assume the same hole is being used? It's not going to be cut in, the same size that's there?
That's
In
what
the
they've
opening.
stated.
That's what it
Yes.
says, yeah.
Are they hurricane windows?
Yeah, that was my question too. In their application here, I can't read it. It says replace 3 windows
And most likely they're not
with
hurricane.
non-impact using 25% something.
Yeah,
Rule.
there's the rule for 20, yeah,
Oh.
they're not impact. And that's why you can only do so much of a percentage every few years when you don't put impact
I
windows
see.
in.
Okay.
So they're getting better energy efficiency and just changing them out, but they should look very similar. All right, so no questions? Do I have a motion?
Well, hold on, before we move on to the motion.
Oh, city, right.
For the record, the applicant's not here, and then are there any members of the public wishing to speak either in favor or against the application? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
Okay, I'll make a motion on application 21-43, 28 West Center, 21-61, 37 West Boyer Street, replacement of windows. I make a motion that we accept the proposal as read.
And I'll second that, but can we add with staff recommendations?
Right,
To that? Okay.
right. And with this, the proposal with the staff recommendations.
I'll second that.
Mr. Mrozinski,
Yes.
Ms. Ryan,
Yes.
Ms. Hallett,
Yes,
All right.
okay.
So the next one is application 21-60, 105 East Tarpon Avenue, replacement of storefront on contributing structure.
Did you want to, Pat, before we go through the staff report, you had the question about whether or not.
I would just note that I can go through the presentation. Staff recommendation at this time, with the information we have, is for denial. We do not have a full board. I don't know if the chair would like to ask the applicant their preference, or if the board would like to ask the applicant whether she wants to continue this or go with the 3 members.
And just for the record and for the board's edification, your rules of procedure, Rule 2.3, does say if less than a full board is present, an applicant may choose to defer the presentation of his or her application until it can be heard by the full board. And you may continue the hearing at any time to the next meeting if 3 members are not present for the vote.
Okay.
So if the applicant so chooses, she can continue this to a date certain in order to have it heard by the full board.
Would you like to do that?
That's fine, it's not testimony. Okay, so the applicant has elected to continue this application until the next meeting, which is set for July 12th, 2021. So we'll continue this meeting to a date certain per the applicant. And at that time, we can see if there will be a full board that will be present at that time. Thank
So
you.
Then it's just staff comments and board comments?
That would be it.
Then we're adjourned?
Yep, so staff
Okay.
comments?
6:43.
So,
Not yet,
yes,
staff
I've got
comments?
2.
Oh, a public
I've
comment?
got 2 comments. First is the brouhaha sign that you guys had it recommended denial, or actually made a decision to deny. That has been appealed to the Board of Commissioners, and that's scheduled for July the 13th. Just, I always like to inform the board when something you've made a decision on has been appealed. And then the second thing is we received official notification that our Historic Area Adaptation Resiliency Plan grant has been awarded for $50,000. So we're going to get that project started, and you'll be heavily involved in that. It's going to be a good project. The governor signed a budget, so we have our award. We have to get a consultant on board, and we'll be moving forward with that. That's it.
Can I ask a question on that sign issue that's going to go to the commissioners? So do they have the full updated specs on the sign? Because I did go by there, and it's plastic, corrugated plastic, so it doesn't meet any of the specifications on
Okay.
sign ordinance.
What they will have is the package, and your attorney can help you with this. The appeal will be based on the package. They will also have the minutes by then. We'll be preparing the minutes and bringing those back for your signature on July 12th. So we can get them the minutes from that meeting for the July 13th. But the appeal is usually, or really pretty much based on the record presented to you at the time of the decision. New information normally would not be introduced, and Erica's or anything that we need.
The
I
other
need to
thing
add.
too is, while this board sits in a quasi-judicial position and you are required to adhere to your guidelines and the criteria in the code, the Board of Commissioners sitting in an appellate position is not bound to that. The way that the code reads is they can consider anything that they want. They can, but, you know, and I've sat on that board and represented them in the spirit of an appeal to that board from this board, and they do give deference to the Heritage Preservation's board's decision and the reasoning behind that. So they will have that information, but unlike you guys, they're not bound to it. So if they do something outside of that and they allow for it, they have the ability to do so.
Will there be anyone from this board there to represent?
There should not be.
Should not be, okay.
Yeah, you can certainly go to that meeting in your individual capacities and speak as a member of the public, but in no way, shape, or form, I would advise you to be present at that meeting and attempt to speak on behalf of the board.
That's it.
All right, then I guess we are adjourned.
Okay.
6:45.
You can bang the gavel if you want.
Oh, there we go.
Yay!
Yay.